Hi everyone, Michelle Fixit here. Today I'm working on a 2006 Chevy Trailblazer. We recently acquired this vehicle. It's the second Trailblazer. Trailblazer hood number 1. Trailblazer hood number 2. The lighter colored one I've had for like 17 years. So anyways, this is going to be like my key fob's not working. So being that this is a new to us vehicle, I'm going through trying to triage it. You guys are going to get a lot of videos on this particular Trailblazer. So right now I have the key fob dismantled to a certain extent. And the thing is, if you are selling someone a used vehicle, what would be nice and appropriate would be if you're very upfront and honest about any deficiencies that the vehicle has, because we were not made aware of deficiencies with the vehicle when we first purchased it. And this Trailblazer did have like 2 Bentleys sitting in the driveway, so it's not like, you know, they I don't know, maybe they just sell like cheap cars and that's how they get Bentleys. But basically, thank you. Basically, we didn't find out until we parked it that the poor Trailblazer has that busted out window right there, probably because someone tried to repair the only locking mechanism that the Trailblazers come with. They only have one key for the driver door. And I'll stick you guys right here for a sec. And so we found out when we were at IKEA. Yes, I'm in a bathrobe. It's chilly. I prefer bathrobe. I prefer having my robe on because I like to temperature control myself when I'm working on stuff, and it is chilly right now. So I've dismantled the door, and I'm going to give you guys a video on that. But if your key fob's not working, first make sure that you're putting the battery in correctly, because like when you open up your key fob, like how to open it is you just put a flathead in right there and you pop it open. And if you pay attention to your key fob will let you know the orientation it wants the battery to be in. So if I pop out this battery, which is a new battery, because this key fob was not working. So then I didn't know if it was working at all. But it has a plus sign on the back of it right here. So if you see a plus sign on your key fob, that means that the plus sign that's on your button battery, and this for the Trailblazer, in case you happen to have a key fob that doesn't have a battery in it, is a CR, as in Charlie Romeo, 2032. So if you match the pluses together, that's the orientation that the battery wants to be in. Just saying. So their battery was in upside down, and then it was coated, the actual little whatever computery this stuff was coated in goo. So as soon as I flipped the battery over from the original battery, miraculously it started working. The lock did. The unlock, however, did not work. So I just had my husband cat procure some alcohol for me, not the consumable kind, but the cleaning kind, so that I can clean. I used the shop towels to clean all the gooey stuff off, and now I'm using alcohol to clean all this down, because key fobs go with us everywhere and they get gross, and if they can't have good contact, they're not going to work, or not going to work. So even though I've already cleaned it with a paper towel, it's still dirty, and so use alcohol because you don't want to cause any issues with any of these little parts. And it'll dry out rather quickly, so I'm going to set that somewhere here. And then all of that goo was still in here, so every now and then clean out your key fobs. I mean, this is disgusting, and I already started picking at a bunch of this stuff, but look at that. And this truck is 3 years newer than my truck, and my key fob was looking pretty good. I lost one key fob along the way, but clean out all these little pieces and parts with alcohol if you're having issues with your key fob, and know the correct orientation of your battery. And if you're not sure, try it both ways. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. So super gross, cleaning it out, and you guys will get to partake in whether or not this works. The reason that it's not unlocking with the key is because someone was aware of that, did not let us know that they were aware of that, because the interior portion of the door panel was, you know, a little off. And so I noticed that right away, and I'm like, that's not a big deal, you know, it's probably just some interior clips and stuff. And you can get a whole, look at this is disgusting. You can get a whole little box of those for pretty cheap on Amazon or eBay or wherever. But when I opened it up, and that'll be a whole other video, they duct taped, teeny tiny piece of duct tape on the door actuator. So the door actuator is going to have to be replaced. I'm currently only seeing options for procuring those off of eBay, unless I want to pay $200 for something I can get on eBay for like 30 bucks. But it's just frustrating because if Mr. Bentley guy would have let me know, I'd have been like, oh, okay. But to be in the IKEA parking lot and you know, at first I just thought that the key fob was dead because it wouldn't lock. And that's what he said. I was like, oh, key fob dead? Because, you know, I tested all the little different things with the Trailblazer before we left in it and purchased it and all that good stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, the battery's dead. It's not a big deal. No, dude, the battery's not dead. You knew the battery wasn't dead. Somebody opened up that door and somebody put a thin piece of duct tape, which is letting that actuator go all over the place. So make sure all your stuff's cleaned out for your key fob. That's going to be your first thing, and if you guys are bear with me for just a moment, or not, if you don't want to, you can fast forward with my video. But give all this a really good cleaning with alcohol anytime you have to replace your battery. I guess I'm just really meticulous with my vehicles, and other people are not. But other people probably don't keep them for almost 20 years either, so there's that. And no, we did not get another Trailblazer because that Trailblazer has issues. My Trailblazer is perfectly fine. It's just my husband is not allowed to drive my vehicles, and he likes my Trailblazer. And I am the one that does a lot of the work, even though right now he's changing the oil, and I'm super proud of him. So he's going to be doing a double Trailblazer day for oil. But he wanted a newer version of the Trailblazer, and then I saw this Trailblazer for $3,000, and even if they would have told me that it had these little minute problems with it, I still would have purchased it. I mean, we drove 3 hours to go get it because, you know, it's got way less miles than mine, and mine's been a really good girl. She's literally been to, I don't know, at this point, like, we've been to almost all the states, and she even went to Hawaii. So, you know, she's a very good truck. So, let's see if all this worked. But be honest, when you're selling a car, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna pause you guys. Alright, so we put our little connector pieces in this little rubber guy. So pull the rubber guy out. You match up the shape of this guy to this. You stick that in, and then you stick it in here. And our battery's in the correct orientation, and we are going to see if this magically makes the whole key fob work or not. So now it locks. And now it unlocks. Wow, look at that. You're welcome, babe. So instead of busting out the window over there, because now I gotta change that out. Instead of busting out the window and using that as your way, and that's probably the whole reason they got rid of this truck. Plus, clearly it has some body damage going on that they tried to like haphazardly repair. But I mean, husband cap, because I was like, I don't know if I want to get that Trailblazer because like mechanically it seems good. Minus, you know, other stuff. Engine trans seem fine. But I was like, the body's kind of beat up, and he's like, it's pretty damaged, because he's harder on his vehicles than I am. But now it locks and it unlocks, and I'm going to put the door back together again and make sure that it works. But if your key fob's not working universally, whether it's a Trailblazer or some type of Ford product or whatever, take your key fob apart, give it a good cleaning with alcohol, do not use water on it, make sure that the battery is in the correct orientation, and there you go. So you guys have a fantastic day. If you have any Trailblazer questions, I also have the Jeep and a Ram, and he has a Tundra, and And then we have a Transformer, which is a Chrysler 200. We have a small fleet of vehicles. If you have any random questions, ask me. But otherwise, you guys have a great day. Bye!